Can I ask you a bit weird question?
Okay.
Don't you also think that we should legalize having sex with animals?
No.
No?
Legalize having sex with animals?
Why not? What's wrong with that?
No, that's wrong. Yeah. That's super wrong for me. No. No.
Don't you think it should be legal to have sex with animals?
No.
Why not?
Right, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I don't even know where to start.
No, that's just...
That is really odd.
I don't really want to entertain the concept.
Probably not is the answer.
No?
Yeah.
Don't you think it should be legal to have sex with animals?
I'm against zoophilic acts and whatnot. That's very much immoral and just wrong in general.
Well, why is it wrong?
Well, I mean, for starters, humans are not meant to have sexual contact with animals, you know? We're meant to have with other humans. That's just kind of how our biology is designed, the most logical way to explain it.
But what if someone gets turned on by other animals? Like, shouldn't they be allowed to have sex with them?
In this case, if it was me, if it's like in the first stages, they obviously need some professional help, therapy, because there could be multiple reasons for that. It could be from hormonal to, genetic, maybe, something happening to the brain structure. In other cases, it could be even like past trauma, severe mental trauma. There's lots of reported cases. Right now, I cannot think of any at the top of my head, but there's lots of cases where people do all sorts of disturbing acts thanks to past traumatic experiences that severely cripple the mental psyche of a human.
Why not?
No, that is, for me, it's like a sick mentality.
But
No, for animals?
okay. But what's the reason? Why shouldn't that be allowed?
Why would you ever want to do that?
I don't want to do it. I'm just saying, if someone would do it, shouldn't they be allowed to do it?
No, because also the animals doesn't have like a... How do you know if the animal will want? It's like raping.
Yeah, but it's just animals, though.
No, animals feel also.
They do?
Animals, yes.
Okay.
So I think it is not correct, and not for human, not for animal. It is not nature. It will be rape. That is not good. For me, no.
Well, they don't consent to it, so...
Yeah, but they're just animals, though.
And they have feelings too.
Okay. But do you eat animals?
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah. So, do they give consent to be killed?
No.
So why do you care about consent in that scenario when you talk about sex?
Yeah, you have a right, I guess.
Why? Why not?
I'm gone, lads.
Well,
I'm too hungover for this
yeah,
conversation.
I can't fathom the idea of anybody being attracted to an animal in the first place. I just can't process it.
Okay. Yeah, but
say being pragmatic about it, I would say that the animal doesn't have any say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're against it because the animals can't give consent, basically?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess.
But does that matter? They're just animals? So...
Oh, okay.
No, they're sentient beings. They're sentient beings. They're aware of stuff.
Yeah, but we still eat them. I see where this is going, but we do all sorts of terrible things.
Yeah, do you guys eat? Do you guys eat animals?
Yeah, yeah.
So why do you care about their consent in that scenario, but not in this scenario?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it as the first thing, but also. It's just such a weird idea. Someone wanting to have sex with an animal.
Yeah, but there are a lot of weird people and preferences. It's not the one I hold. I'm just saying, if someone wanted to, if it's okay to kill and eat them, shouldn't it be allowed to have sex with them as well?
Well, I mean, again, there's a pragmatism to eating an animal. It's nutrition,
So if you kill them afterwards, then it's okay.
No, because that would be an unnecessary cruelty.
Yeah, but is it necessary to eat them?
Yeah, isn't it?
Some might say it's not. But what specifically is wrong about it?
Well, the most logical one is we're literally not designed species-wise.
Okay.
One's a human, let's say, as an example, one's a human, the other's a horse. It just doesn't work. Let me give you a good example. There was a very classic accident. I don't know if you heard, Mr. Hands, Boeing 343 engineer in some farm. He would go every single, I don't know how often, but there was like this case. He would literally go to like this farm to get, done by a horse, and he died from internal bleeding. That's an actual thing. Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah.
People on the YouTube, look it up. Mr. Hands, trust me, it's a very lovely article.
So you care about animals giving consent and don't do stuff to them
I
that
care
they
about
don't
the
want?
well-being of the animals. That's
Okay.
it. I know the animals cannot speak, unfortunately, of course, but I care about the well-being of the animal, and of course, that's rapism. No, that's not.
Do you guys eat animals?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I see where you're going.
So I thought you cared about animals' consent.
Yeah.
They don't give their consent to be killed, do they?
No, they don't.
So why do you care about their consent in that scenario, but not when you eat them?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it a bit weird? If it's allowed to kill them, why is it not allowed to fuck them?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you care about animals giving their consent, then isn't it worse to kill them than to fuck them?
It's true, I guess.
Yeah, so it should be illegal maybe to...
No, maybe.
Yeah. So you agree then? It should be legal to have sex with animals?
I need more time.
Or do you care? Okay, so what do you care more about? Like that they should be able to give consent to having stuff done to them that they don't want? Is that more important?
Well, I don't know. I'll probably stop eating animals before I do that. So I don't know.
Why should we be attracted by default? Like, there's no like logical sense to it.
Well, we do a lot of stuff for no reason. Like besides, we get pleasure from it, even though we shouldn't be doing it, or it might not be natural. But like, shouldn't we be allowed to if it gives us pleasure and?
In this case, there's a classic quote, which is just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to.
So might don't make right.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, yes. It's just because you can do something, you doesn't mean you should. Yeah.
Like, let's say, if I want to, hypothetically, yes, I can go into the most fucked up part of the city, buy the cheapest narcotics I can get my hands onto, and get high as a kite, but in return, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have all sorts of like internal health issues and whatnot. That's why you should practice. That's why people should practice thoughtfulness. I mean, that's why you should always think ahead.
Okay, so we shouldn't have sex with animals because it can be harmful to us, it can be unhealthy. Is that like?
It's just not. We're just not made for it. We're quite literally just not made for it.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
What if someone doesn't care? Like, if someone doesn't care about their health or what they're meant for? They just like doing it. Shouldn't they be allowed to?
I mean, by default, they shouldn't be allowed to. But
why?
Well, first off, again, it's unhealthy for them. It's gonna mess them up. But in the case that they don't think about that. First things first. It should be most the best advice I can recommend is that person should be helped. They need the help, because by default, if you have these sort of urges, something happened. Something is causing this. What's the cause for someone to do this? It's just not worth it in the long term.
So the reason you're against it is because it's not good for humans. You don't care like if it's good or bad for the animal. It's because we shouldn't be doing it. That's why you're against it. You don't care if it's
about
bad
the
for
animal. Here's my best argument: rabbits do it with rabbits, birds do it with birds. In their own species and whatnot.
There are species of animals who rape other species.
Oh no, cuz this nigga is screwing a penguin, cuz. Oh my god. Was that a walrus? He was wrong whoever he was.
Yeah, but these cases are not very common.
No, but I'm just saying it happens.
Oh, of course it happens. They're animals. They don't really. They're pretty much instinct. Stuff. Even if it's not nice, it happens.
So you're saying we can't justify our actions because other animals do something. Is that
No. What I'm saying is that it happens, like also in the wild, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it's a good thing. Have you?
Yeah, I think we're designed to eat animals, but just not as much as we do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'd say the way we evolved, we'd probably catch an animal and eat it, say, I don't know, once every fortnight or once a month or something, but we're not maybe conditioned to eat it as
And
much
in
as we
ways
do.
that
like
every part
day,
of the
you know.
animal is used and everything as well.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, but can't we also survive without eating any animals?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is unnecessary then.
Essentially, and it'll probably have to go that way, you know?
Yeah, like a lot of people do say, like we'll look back on a time and say, isn't it crazy that we ate animals? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility. Yeah. Well, now I suppose we live in a time now where there are more options. You can, you know, before I think it was necessity.
Yeah.
Like-
way back, I can agree. It might be necessary. But
It's a luxury now.
Yeah.
It's a luxury now.
But that's
then.
because
Yeah.
of that. It's so ingrained that people are just, you know, it's just what's done is kind of like, it's a lazy answer, but that's probably why it's still as, you know.
Yeah. If you don't want people to do stuff to animals that animals don't like, I mean, if we kill them, they're for sure not going to like that. But if you have sex with them, they may or may not like. We don't know.
Yes, of course. It's like different scenarios.
Yeah. So what makes the other scenario okay?
What makes it okay and what no, I don't think it is not either. It is not okay. Unfortunately, I do. That is what I like, and I have tried to not eat animals. And every time I try to eat less. Currently I try to eat like more cheese because also taking out the cheese and using the animal for working is another topic that is maybe not quite good. But
Yeah, I mean the cows we make milk from to produce cheese are also
Yes.
being killed and having stuff. So why do you eat animals
I'm
or cheese or stuff that comes from animals? Why do you eat it?
because I like it, unfortunately.
Because it gives you pleasure.
Pleasure, yeah, because I like
Yeah.
eating food, of course.
So what's the difference then?
Okay, maybe the difference it will be, I'm not trying to say that my behavior is going to be good instead of the other thing, but maybe one thing is because I can live without sex, and I cannot live without eating, but I of course can live eating only vegetables. So yeah, it is a really hard topic to tell, but of course I'm up to it to talk about it.
Yeah, but let me ask you: do you eat animals?
I eat animals. I eat pork. I eat beef, fish. And to be honest, I admit, you know, it's not very good. At least with fish, it's somewhat acceptable because, like, the way how they get grown is, you know, there's like big like reefs in the ocean and whatnot. But like with pigs and with chickens and whatnot, they get taken care of in like farms. They get like, you know, stuff with all sorts of hormones and whatnot. I admit I'm a pretty bad person. You know, I'm not very nice in that case. I should mainly focus on the fish. But as of now, I'm eating, you know, all sorts of like greens. You know, I eat my vegetables and whatnot, my fruits, and I eat my meat.
Okay, because if you're against us screwing animals because it may be harmful to us or may not be good for us, but like all meat and animal products contain saturated fat and cholesterol, and so that's not good for us either. So shouldn't we ban eating animals as well?
I think what we really should ban is rather way how animals get treated, because in this case we're primarily focusing around the industrialization of the food market and whatnot, the way how food gets treated with, you know, like on an industrial scale. I think that's more or less a bigger issue because, like, let's give an example. In the past, you know, I'm talking about like over 1,000 years ago and whatnot, when we're still like Middle Ages or even before that, you know, humans always had plantations and farms and whatnot. You know, the food was more healthy, more natural, you could say, and even the animals, the meat they were eating was way more acceptable in terms of quality. Now, yes, that is true. They do have like saturated fats and whatnot, but at least for a way to compensate that, this is why we as humans are you agree, we are omnivores, right? We can eat both meat and also both like vegetables and fruit. And that's why we have like...
And also we can, omnivore also means you can survive without eating anything from animals as well.
It can be possible. I'm not trying to say it cannot be possible, but like, oof, it happens.
But
as I was saying, like, sorry, just kidding. Sorry, it's possible. However, like covering specific nutrients, that's where it gets like more complicated. Now, I admit nowadays, especially in the 21st century, in the way how technology has developed nutritional knowledge and whatnot, it is possible to recover these needed substances with like food, supplements and whatnot, you know, things you add to your diet. That is possible. However, I still think, at least to the conclusion I came, because I admit, okay, my conclusion is very uninformed. There's still a lot of reading I need to do. You know, there's a lot to go through. But at least the technology we have now, at least that's publicly available, still needs some more work because, like, of course, like, you know, first off, food supplements, like, they're pretty well, but also we need to, like, kind of make sure how can we make it so that it's on a more bigger scale, because when you pointed that out, you're specifically talking about, you know, veganism goals and mass.
I'm trying to legalize sex with animals. Why would you think I'm a vegan?
Well, it's because you mentioned something about veganism, that's why.
Oh, you started talking about we're omnivores and that means we can eat this and that and...
Well, technically we can.
Isn't that a bit too extreme, not to harm any animals? Not to kill or harm any animals? You have to kill or harm some, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But that's primarily for, like, which are kept in captive, you know. In the nature, that's a whole different thing.
But if it's wrong to have sex with them because they can't consent to that, but isn't it worse to have your life taken from you than to be raped? I mean, isn't it, if we have sex with them, they may or may not like it, we don't know, but we quite sure know they don't like being killed, I guess.
No, definitely, yeah.
No,
I slaughtered in front of their own.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a cow being killed in front of a calf or vice versa.
Yeah. And another thing, how do these animals get here in the first place? They have moms and dads, but do they reproduce naturally?
Well, I suppose you've like the battery
And there's like
chickens
insemination
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doesn't that mean that you are supporting humans doing sexual things to animals when you buy these products?
We've come full circle.
Yeah.
He's good at this.
There you go.
Yeah.
When you buy animal products and animals, you are actually also supporting humans doing sexual stuff to animals. Do you understand how?
No, I don't know.
Because the animals are being bred by humans into existence. So it's not like they have sex with who they want, it's humans who forcibly jack off the males and inseminate the females. So by buying animal products, you are supporting sex with animals.
You're right, again.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be then more consistent with your thoughts to just not buy animal products if you think they should be able to make consent?
Yeah. I think it is that way, so yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah.
Cool. You probably realized I'm not actually supporting sex with animals. I'm just trying to make people see the hypocrisy in like caring about consent in one scenario, but not when it's about like taking their life from them. Like, what would you rather have happen to you? Someone killed you, like took your life away, or someone raped you?
Yeah.
If you had to choose one.
I'll probably choose the second one.
Yeah. Me too. Are you now for legalizing sex with animals? Or are you gonna stop buying animal products? What would be most in line with your views?
The second one, to stop buying animal products.
Cool. I hope you stop doing that.
Me too.
Cool. You said you ate animals and animal products. Yeah. So, therefore, you are actually supporting humans doing sexual things to animals.
I don't.
You don't support it with your thoughts and values, but you're supporting it with your money.
It is one thing to sexually assault an animal, it's another to kill it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm saying all the animals you eat have been unnaturally bred into existence.
I'd much rather call it just industrialization.
Yeah.
of the animals. Sexual
All
act.
the animals you eat had moms and dads, but they didn't make a baby the natural way. They were humans first. We jack off the males, and then we forcibly impregnate the females. So when you buy animals and animal products, you are supporting humans having sex with animals.
I'd much rather say, I wouldn't call it so much humans having sex with animals, I'd much rather say
Doing sexual things to animals, sticking our arms inside their anuses and sticking stuff.
Aren't these health checkups being done on cows?
What?
Aren't you talking about the health checkups they do on like cows and whatnot?
No, it's to inseminate them, to make them pregnant.
Oh, you mean like the artificial pregnancy? That was
Yeah.
forceful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's on the whole. Again, that's like part of the industrialization. I wouldn't call it so much a sexual act, more like a way to.
But it is though.
It's more like
It's penetration of their private parts.
Technically it is, yeah. Technically
Yeah.
it is. I'm not trying to deny it. They obviously need some professional help, therapy, because there could be multiple reasons for that. It could be from hormonal to genetic, maybe something happening in the brain structure. In other cases, it could be even like past trauma, severe mental trauma. What's the cause for someone to do this? But I wouldn't call it so much a sexual act because the intention was never to give pleasure. I think a rape would be more fitting word if you ask me. This is why, again, that's why I'm against. I am against, the industrialization of animal products.
Not if you buy animal products, then you support it.
I admit what I'm doing is not good. I'm never gonna say I'm somehow a good guy.
Okay.
I admit that. I'm not trying to say that like I'm doing a good thing.
I'm not trying to argue that you're not a good person. I'm just saying that, in fact, in your mind, you're against sex with animals, but in your actions, you're actually supporting it and financing it.
You could technically, no, like I'm not debating. With my money, I'm indeed funding the industrialization of animal products, and you're
right. I am a vegan. I'm just bullshitting people, and
I won't be surprised if that's the case. Listen, man. There's so many channels. Like, I get you want to get like the reaction of people. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm messing around with you. I don't support doing anything to animals without their consent. Neither sex, nor violence, nor killing.
Yeah.
But every time you guys buy animal products, you are actually supporting humans doing sexual things to animals.
Sexual things?
Yes.
Well, because we supported doing everything, whatever you want to do with the animal, right?
No, well, how do the animals get there in the first place? Because we are breeding them into existence.
Yeah.
We're jacking off the males and forcibly impregnate the females. So, like to make cheese, for example, to make milk, like the cows first need to be pregnant,
Yeah.
to produce milk.
Yeah.
And so how do we get the cows pregnant?
Yeah, of course, massively they do that, but well, yeah. It is a really hard topic, and
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would you like kill like a spider or like a fly or?
I probably kill insects by accident, but I try not to, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I try to as well. Like, try to put a spider outside. But I'm terrified of spiders still.
Yeah.
No, I was just asked because that's what I was going to say. It's like, if you do kill insects, then surely that's...
You're part of the game
same
as well.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have nervous systems too. They might not have the same level of sentient as pigs and cows and fish and chicken, but maybe there's someone in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Maybe stuff will change, I don't know, but until then, like, here's the issue, right? Even if I change my dietary way and whatnot, how is someone like me, I cannot make such a big impact.
Well, have you noticed, say the last 5 years or so, that everywhere you go, there's like vegan options, right?
I've been noticing, but my problem...
So how big part of the population do you think is vegan now for this to happen? Like now you see, like even Kentucky Fried Chicken sells vegan chicken. Like you can get vegan options basically everywhere. So how big part of the population do you think is vegan for this to have happened now?
I cannot say anything, but one thing's for certain.
1%. So 1%. I mean, I can't by myself stop the world from doing things to animals that they don't give consent for. Even if it's like rape, violence, killing, slavery, kidnapping, like all these things we do to animals. I can't stop the world from doing it, but I can stop my contribution to it. Same as I can't make everyone in the world anti-racist, but I can myself be an anti-racist, you know?
It's possible, I admit, but like that's where like we need to go deeper into things because you know when let's say when you get an example with the Kentucky Fried Chicken, how they're often like vegan stuff and how like you know certain companies are now doing it. They're not really doing it so much for the good, so much as like you gotta show the big boys that hey,
supply and demand. They're doing it because they notice more people don't want to buy meat, so we have to give an option for them too. So it's like supply and demand. If we don't financially support the breeding of animals, then fewer animals will be bred into existence and more vegan options will be around.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like the problem here is like for these acts to really work, we need to like attract the attention of the big boys to show them that there's money to be made. Because like you know now with hopefully you know I hope that you know with technology will improve, we have better quality food, you know way less negative effects and whatnot. But then the other problem is that like you know will we have the resource to actually like you know to make more farms, to make more self-sustainability, like where is the manpower, where's the funds gonna come, where's like the tools needed? That's my only issue, like where's the resource needed? Because like I personally don't support the vegan movement, don't get me wrong.
We would need way less resources if the world was plant-based. If no one ate meat, we could free up 3/4 of all our agriculture land now, because it requires way more resources to first feed the animals, then eat the animals, than if you had just eaten the plants directly.
Perhaps. Yeah. Again, I'm not trying to say like I just know all the facts. I admit I know very little, but at least my own problem is the funds because these sort of operations, even if it is cheaper, like it still requires lots of man hours, lots of management, you know, and like this is where the hard part comes. The whole thing because the movement is there, but how are we going to actually make it work?
Yeah.
How are we going to make it evolve and whatnot?
Yeah, I don't have all the answers, but now we're talking about like the big changes in the society and the world. But I'm just more curious about like you as an individual, like what you contribute to and not like. Because that's something that is within our power to do something about, you know.
Fair enough. So I can see it, but at least for now, like, you know, I personally, you know, try to eat more often fish. You know, I try to eat fish more often because at least, again, the growing of the fish is more acceptable than.
Why?
At least the way I've noticed, like, they don't. The only, you know, there's fish that get grown in captivity, but at least the condition which I've seen, they're way more. I've seen it from rivers being grown and whatnot, like in a bit more natural environments. At least that's what
factory farmed fish are maybe the animals who have the worst lives. It's so horrible. Like many millions of fish died from disease in Norway last year because they're confined in so close places, so many together, and there's like lice and ticks and diseases, and which also spreads to the rest of the lakes where they're kept. So. And also fish are really sensitive creatures. They actually have so complex nervous systems that a lot of scientists think they can feel pain much stronger than we can. They can actually sense their surroundings in the water without touching them.
Wasn't it the opposite? They don't feel any pain?
A lot of people do believe that, but science says otherwise. Yeah.
Perhaps outdated, you know, I admit I haven't looked in a long time.
But how would you help other people to, I don't know, I want to stop it. I am.
You do?
I want.
Cool.
If I have in my hands stop eating and stop buying animal-related stuff, and I can do that. But how could you like help me like to have, I don't know, like to strain? How can I inform myself? What tips would you give me to stop buying like animal food to a point where I can 100% be vegetarian? It is
plant-based.
Plant-based? 100% plant-based?
There actually is one lifestyle or philosophy that seeks to exclude all animal exploitation as far as practically possible, that they don't eat or use anything that come from animals. So not just food, but things like wool, silk, leather.
Everything.
Do you know what this lifestyle is or philosophy is called?
Tell me, please.
Veganism. Yes, that's what it means to be a vegan.
Okay.
So
Are you vegan? Of course.
yes, I am.
Since when?
Almost 2.5 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this something you have considered or thought about before? Or?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I have tried because at the beginning I was trying to say that, but you know the difference between vegetarian and vegan is not the same thing. But yeah, I have tried like going vegetarian. I think because vegetarian you can eat like cheese and all this stuff, but vegan is you can not eat or use anything related.
Or
to animals.
yeah, exactly, and that's because like if we're not eating meat for ethical reasons, if we don't want like bad stuff to happen to the animals, then that reason should also apply for the animals in the dairy and egg industry as well, because those animals suffer horrible lives as well, and they're all also sent to the same slaughterhouses and killed.
And of course also like for the silk, right?
Yeah.
The worms and all this
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
fabrics. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's cool to hear that you, in your values, you don't support abusing animals.
Yeah, but unfortunately I
But
do
if you pay for these products, you are actually supporting it financially, like
Yeah.
financial support.
Yeah, of course.
So your values are already vegan, so you just have to rely your actions with your values.
Okay. To be
Do you
fair,
think that would be difficult for you?
I think it will be. I'm up for it. I think this talk helped me, like, because I have thinking about it. I have never, actually, because I'm here eating animal food, I have never like done so. But I think if I can inform myself about, because I want to be healthy and all this stuff. If I can do that, being vegan, I will absolutely try it.
Yeah, definitely you can. I mean, you can both be unhealthy or healthy on a vegan diet. There's a lot of vegan junk food you can have and also, but all over. If you like mostly stick to whole foods, beans, lentils, rice, potatoes, oats, legumes. That's like the healthiest diet on the planet. Yeah, that's like, and there's in all animal products, there's like cholesterol, saturated fat, like increases cancer risk, heart disease risk, all of this. So you can definitely be healthy as a vegan. The only supplement all vegans need is B12. So you should have a B12 supplement. Yeah, and maybe a multivitamin, maybe not. Depends how varied you eat as a vegan.
I will definitely try to do that.
Cool. So if you want to learn a bit more, here are some documentaries you can check out.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the talk. Are you okay with me posting this, by the way?
Yes, it's okay for me.
Yeah? Okay.
My English is not that good, but
I think it's
okay
good.
for me. Thank you, and thank you for taking this talk to the people and making them feel, because we have to feel uncomfortable with things that we are normal and used to. And thank you to change. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you stopped up for a talk.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Paul McCartney when he started to become vegetarian. He was fishing, and when he caught the fish, he had to hit it with sort of a hammer to kill it. And when he saw the fish on the stone, he said he realized that the fish fighting for his life, that his life was important to him as his was to him. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the turning point for him to become a vegetarian. So.
Yeah. Problem with vegetarianism is that like animals are still being forcibly bred and exploited and killed for dairy products and eggs as well.
Right.
So there is actually one lifestyle which tries to, as much as possible, to boycott violence and exploitation of animals.
Yeah, I mean, again, like a lot of these things, it's great, it's right, what you're saying is right, but sometimes it's really hard to apply them to the real world. It's a bit like, you know, pesticides and foods and things. Like, it's bad, you can see how it's bad that it's done, but if it wasn't done, if food wasn't mass produced the way it is, not everybody would eat, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there are many problems in plant food production too. I'm just saying, like, if you don't support sex with animals, like morally we don't support it, then shouldn't we also stop financially supporting it?
It's what you're saying is, you know, if you're the way we live or the ethos that we have, if you take it to an extreme, does it stand up? I think that's really what you're asking. You know? I don't know. I haven't really thought about the sex with animals thing until we met.
Yeah.
No, but it's a good point. I know what you're saying.
That's what I'm doing. This I try to make people think about stuff they're not used to think about. Yeah.
We're not going to be on TV tomorrow now or something.
No,
We should have asked what this is for.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel where I make videos about veganism and stuff. So, is it okay for you if I post this conversation?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I don't
What's your name, man?
Matthias
Right, Peter. Nice to meet you. Good luck with it, is that?
Yeah, thanks. So, if you guys wanna learn a bit more, here's some documentaries you can check out.
Okay.
Have a nice evening.
I mean, at least the regions which I've grown up, at least the region I've seen, because I've been in Bulgaria. You know, it's a bit of a shithole in the Eastern Europe, but at least I've went to lots of like, well, not so many, but like I've seen like actually like ponds where like it's like this. There's one very nice pond where like they have like their own. Where it's like very owned by very few people. It's like a very small place, very secluded spot. They kind of like they're very popular with the fact they have like their own like small pond where they grow their own fish, and it's like not industrialized though. It's like very just it's a pond which kind of like this, when the season comes, they catch the fish and they have it stored.
Yeah, so it's okay to kill happy animals. If animals are in the environment they like, then it's okay to kill them.
Well, at least they're not industrialized like crazy, and they don't catch everything. They only catch like as much as it's. Not to completely fuck up everything.
So it's okay to take someone's life away from them if the life you take is a good life.
It's not okay, but the problem is that the way how we live nowadays, sadly, the technology needs to evolve more. For now, sadly, we have to do these acts. We need to give it maybe another 5-7 years, maybe then.
But do we have to do these things to animals? Do we have to eat them and confine them at all?
I don't like it, but it's been in human culture for so long that at this point...
Yeah, so has raping other humans, so has domestic violence, pack mentality. Exactly. So just because something is our culture or has been going on for a long time, is that a good enough reason to do it?
It's not good, but the problem is that only now we're starting to see a genuine change against it. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
And what's stopping you from joining this change?
I mean, I would like to join it, but even then, like, I admit I have way more problems myself. I have enough issues as it is to join whatever it is. Even if it's a generally good thing, I'm pretty sure I'm barely going to contribute anything. You know, I don't want to be there just cause. Like, what's the point of being there if not going to do anything? You get me?
One person going vegan saves hundreds of lives a year. So every time we sit down to eat, we can make a choice between supporting, breeding, abusing and killing animals or not. So if one person goes vegan throughout their lifetime, it might save 20,000 animal lives from that fate. So one person does make a difference.
Perhaps, again, I do not know. There's like, I cannot say anything about this specific information, but it's just, again, it's something like, I believe we'll only see genuine, real progress after like 5-7 years. For now, I'd say maybe there's something starting. Yeah. If especially big corporations are actually starting to kind of like pick up on the trend and keeping at it. But for now, sadly, at least I'm going to maybe slowly, like, I've been slowly changing my ways.
Oh, yeah.
But just, at least for now, the way how I've been before and until then, I've been keeping my, old ways of eating animal products. Perhaps again with time I'm probably gonna change. I don't know what happened in 5 years. Who knows? I might even die. Like a brick falls on my head, like I get ran over. I don't know.
So it's cool to hear you say you've already done some changes, and like you said, you think it's a difficult switch to do, but I think it's only a matter of like information. Maybe it's more difficult in the beginning, but like once you get used to it, then it becomes like second nature. I don't have to check all the ingredients of each product I buy every time I buy it. Like if I know it's vegan, then So, but I really appreciate the chat, and
I'll be honest with you. Sorry for I admit that most of the things I said was pretty much bloat and really with not much value because it's kind of on the spot. I don't really think about these things ahead. So, any YouTube people out there in the comments with your big 100 IQ Reddit tier informations, you can. There's no need for you to say how much I messed up. Trust me, I know I messed up a lot.
My subscribers are nice people, so they won't be mean to you.
So what's the cause for someone to do this? They obviously need some professional help, therapy. Because I swear to God, dude, I've seen so many vegan zealots at this point that's just like, I don't know if they're like, am I okay with saying that, or are you gonna put my head on a pike or something?
I'm just trying to make people think about their double standard, because most people don't think about it, and because like you said, you didn't support.
Yeah, and then I do this. Yes, but it's
just trying to get people to think about this like double standard issue.
I admit it's somewhat of a sin, you know. It's not good. It's not good to say one thing but do something else. But just it's a change that sadly it needs some time, you know.
Yeah.
Like
if this is something you want to consider, there's a website called Challenge 22 where it's completely free to join, and you end up in a forum with lots of newbies, and you can ask anything you want. No questions are stupid to ask, and they'll have to answer everything. And you can also get like a personal mentor if you don't want to ask like publicly, like about practical issues, like how to make stuff, recipes, like social issues, like how do you go about different settings, nutrition, everything. So the idea is to live vegan for 22 days or 3 weeks, because it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So if you're interested, challenge22.com. It's completely free.
perhaps I'll try it. Did you give me the card? Or like...
Yeah, here are some documentaries you can check out if you want to learn more.
And what's your YouTube channel?
It's just my name, Mathias Hamre Sven. I can, let's see.
Let me get my phone out. Oh, you have a card?
Yeah,
oh,
you can.
Thank you very much. Matthias, you're from the Athletic. Is it like the little gym here? Is like the...
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer too.
Oh,
so.
nice. Oh, yeah, by the way, another thing I want to point out.
Yeah?
There's one thing I absolutely agree with, is that I very much see in the future, like let's say, hopefully in the next 10 or so years, I perfectly see it being possible. Okay, not perfect, but I see it very much being possible to gain muscle mass and work out with a vegan diet in the right food supplements. I very much see it. I very much see it being possible.
It's possible already. A lot of athletes and bodybuilders and people who break Olympic records are vegan as well. So
perhaps.
Do you know the Roman gladiators? They didn't eat any meat.
Oh, don't get me started ancient Roman.
Okay, no, sorry. I just wanted to say, like, it's possible to build muscle.
Yeah, I understand. It's possible, but back then was different, you know. Back then, at least the food wasn't so heavily industrialized, so like you were getting pretty much 10 times more sufficient substances compared to today.
I don't know about this. I have no clue. So maybe, yeah.
Oh, you don't know the industrialization of food, you know, because they're always showing.
No, I meant like I'm not an expert on ancient Rome. I was just like saying.
Well, their food is at least a little bit more high quality if we put aside the bugs and the diseases and whatnot. Well, thanks a lot for the interviewing.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
So it's good to at least kind of refresh things and make sure where I could go a bit better, a bit right or wrong.
Yeah. So I hope you check out.
I'll check it out. I got the 2 cards.
The websites. Nice. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Have a good day.
We have to feel uncomfortable with things that we are normal and used to.
Yeah.
Thank you to change. Thank you so much.